Sometimes people are boring and listening isn't always fun. However, I know there's a way to mimic attentiveness without actually giving a boring person your undivided attention. And it's called pseudo listening. Pseudo listening, to me, it's more of an art. So the more that you do it and the longer you do it, the better you get at it. I've done a few tests with like my sister and a couple of my friends to see what steps, like the different steps of pseudo listening and what steps work better than others. So I'm going to teach you the two important steps to pseudo listening and the two not so important steps to pseudo listening. There are many parts to pseudo listening, and the first is maintaining eye contact with the speaker. Maintaining eye contact while you smile and nod helps the speaker to think that you're engaged in the conversation because you're looking at them, so you're like, hey, we're here meeting eye to eye. I'm engaged with what's going on right now. When you smile, it lets them know that you're enjoying what they're talking about, and when you nod, it lets them know that you understand what they're talking about. Point number 2 goes hand in hand with number 1, and it is using body language. If your arms crossed and you just look like uptight and you don't want to do anything with the conversation, the person that you're talking to can notice that and they'll stop. But if you want to seem intrigued with the conversation, you can tilt your head a little bit to the side to make you look more intrigued and interested in what they're talking about, or you can move closer to the speaker so that you're more engaged and you seem drawn into what they're saying. So, for example, if you're in a crowded space, you move closer to the person, and in the person's mind, the person that you're speaking to, in their mind, they're thinking, okay, so they notice that there's a lot going on around us, so they move closer to me. That means they're really trying to listen to what I'm saying. Point 3, the not so important step is actually listening to one part of the conversation. This creates the impression that you're listening because you are, and it helps you with step 4, which is not always important, but depending on the situation, it could come in handy. Point 4 is making a vague statement or question. It can be something that you're interested in. So maybe on step 3, you listened to something, you heard them say something that drew your attention. And then step 4, you ask a question about that, so in a kind of way to like turn the conversation into something that you're actually interested in. Asking vague questions leaves the speaker thinking you're interested because you're asking about something that they're talking about. So they're like, hey, this person's actually listening to me. They know what's going on in the conversation. And it could potentially lead to a conversation that you're more interested in. In conclusion, although pseudo listening takes some time to perfect and requires a little real listening, it's a tool to help you get through everyday life and some of the aimless conversations that come with it.